Hello, haven't uploaded in a month. I'm going to stop announcing this every fucking video because the last 3 videos I've started with, I haven't uploaded in a while. So if I didn't upload for 7 years, I'm literally just not going to acknowledge it. So topic today, people on TikTok are mad about nothing again and I'm incredibly fucking tired of it. Remember earlier this year I made a video about the Killer Mike situation that was happening on TikTok and Twitter. Well, this is in fact much worse and much sadder. Much more sad. This video goes out to my friend who has been reposting these kind of TikToks. A message to you. I'm just saying I see what you are reposting and I am extremely disappointed in you. To get started with today's topic, I would like to introduce y'all to a subject called race swapping and whitewashing. So in today's day and age, a topic seems to be coming up over and over again, which is race swapping. Like when Velma from Scooby-Doo got her race changed for a show that literally no one watched, and the people that did watch it thought it was the fucking worst show ever made. Or when Hailey Bailey, I don't know how to say her name, played Ariel for the Little Mermaid remake. And what I meant by seems to be coming up over and over is actually that people throw huge tantrums whenever an originally white character is played by a minority. Now, I think if you aren't a lunatic, you might just go, yeah, like who cares about what race the actress is playing a fictional character in the movie, which is good, but that way of thinking might just lead to you thinking that, if white characters can be played by minorities, can minority characters be also played by white people, or basically just non-minorities? And no. Let me explain. Now, this next few paragraphs that I'm going to read out to you might come off as a little bit insensitive or uninformed because I am in fact myself, well, not entirely a non-minority, but I am not a black person. And historically, the minorities that were erased most by the media were black people. So I'm incredibly sorry if this next section is going to come off insensitive or uninformed. So there's a history of white people stealing roles from minorities in the movie industry, and not just stealing roles from minorities, but often even making fun of them. And making fun of them is putting it extremely lightly, since, for example, the act of blackface was not just for a white person to be able to play a black person, but also to play and make fun of a black stereotype. And the black stereotype back then was portraying them as dumb, hypersexual, aggressive, loud, just basically less of a person, just a caricature for white people to laugh at. Some of the most famous actors you know have participated in blackface. For example, Robert Downey Jr., Jimmy Kimmel, Shane Dawson, and Bugs Bunny. No, not Bugs Bunny, god fucking damn it. So no, it is not okay for a white person to play a minority character, since it is literally a way of pushing minorities out of the industry. A kind of black or like any kind of minority erasure. And I'm using the word minority since the erasure isn't just happening with black people, even if it's the most widespread issue. Since some trans characters are still played by cis people, and there's a whole conversation happening about gay erasure. However, is it okay to swap white characters, or is it okay for minorities to play white characters? Well, since there is no cultural history of white people being erased in the media, quite the opposite actually. Like, did you even pay attention to the last 5 minutes of this video? In my opinion, it is perfectly fine, but however, I'm going to get into it later in this video. How about you stop pushing this woke agenda and actually write minority characters instead of making already existing white characters minorities? I have 3 main points to argue against this way of thinking, this sentence, which happens to come up a lot in recent years, not just by political commentators, but the normal like white person living in the world right now, which consumes media. First, and the most obvious and simplest one, is what the fuck do you expect from the money-hungry, lazy, uninspired, consumerist, capitalist Western movie industry? Originality? Effort? Yeah, sure. The fact is that these movies that people are mad about, for example, The Little Mermaid, Velma, aren't good pieces of art, and definitely not original pieces of art at all. Not even close, actually. It's just that people are mad about the wrong thing. People are mad about the thing that isn't really the problem. It actually is not a problem at all. How sometimes the representation in these pieces of content isn't particularly good, or there isn't even much of an attempt to make it good is just
say that you a lesbian, girl, me too.
But fuck it, I'll say it. Shoehorned in representation is still better than no representation, and definitely better than erasure. Secondly, these characters aren't just people you're watching on the screen, well technically they are, but they have a brand and image to them that people either look up to or adore. And in the cases of these Disney remakes, it's children. And I just want you to imagine how a little girl feels when a princess she desires to be and a princess she looks up to is played by an actress who is the same race as her. I mean, have none of y'all watched Into the Spider-Verse or something? Like, have none of y'all got the message of that movie? Thirdly, and the longest, and I think the most important one, is let's just all be reminded that Ariel from The Little Mermaid isn't real. Velma from the critically acclaimed Scooby-Doo franchise is not real. The origins of most of these characters that we keep arguing about online aren't even from Disney or have extremely obscure and old backgrounds. In other words, to put it simply, they are adaptations of already existing media. So there's no obligation to keep these characters the same visually. If the tone isn't educational, or if it isn't something like a biopic, I guess, for example, what would be the point of changing, for example, Freddie Mercury's race when the movie's purpose is to introduce and educate the audience about the backstory of the band? It also would not be the best decision to change a character's race if the whole point of the story revolves around a culture of one, or if it's a really integral part of the story. Also, a really cool thing to do was changing a minority character's race to white, since it would be classified as whitewashing, and we talked about why that's bad a couple minutes earlier. However, when the original adapted media does not meet any of these criterias, it's really just what the fuck ever. Like, who cares? I thank my friend Hugo, who also helped me making the script. Thank you very much. Who is not a niche internet micro celebrity, is not. Point blank period. Put it best. So I'm literally going to shamelessly just steal from him. I love plagiarism. In the new Lord of the Rings TV show, they have black elves, and a bunch of fans got super mad because in the books, all elves are white. But the book's rules don't actually matter because the show is an adaptation of the books, and adaptation literally means someone new adapts it and tells a story in a new way and for a new audience. Also, with that specific example, some fans will mention the word elf literally derives from the Latin word for white, and then you have the honor of introducing them to the concept of an etymological fallacy and watching them delete their tweets in embarrassment. He spends too much time. I do too. So, by logic, it's also wrong that Disney remade Robin Hood as a fox and not a white man, because why do they need to change it from the original? Wait till you find out that I don't know how to say that. It's supposed to be 13 and go bald after her dragons hatch in Game of Thrones, or that Alice in Alice in Wonderland's hair was originally a short brown bob and not her iconic blonde with black ribbon, or that Cleopatra wasn't actually attractive and had a really long hook-shaped nose, or that Aquaman is supposed to be a white, short-haired, skinny blonde twink in an orange suit and not beefy, tattooed native Hawaiian dude with dreadlocks and a beard, or that the M from James Bond had always been a man and wasn't portrayed as a woman until Judi Dench in GoldenEye. And to top all that off, the most popular versions of all these characters are the changed ones. It's almost like it's no big deal. It's almost like none of these details impact the story being told in a new adaptation. It's almost like the word adaptation literally means the story is being told in a new way, and that things will be slightly different from the original, and that certain characters might appeal slightly different. So Cleopatra can be pretty, Darren, I don't know how to say that still, can have hair and not be a child, Aquaman can have dreads, tattoos, and a beard, M can be a woman, Robin Hood can be a fucking furry, and Ariel can be whatever race the best actress for the job happens to be. And unless you're also mad about all those things being changed, then you're caring deeply about how much melanin the actor of a motherfucking mermaid has. Is literally just racist. The least we can literally do as the white population is not throw a fucking tantrum whenever a made up character has their skin color changed, but alas, here we fucking are. So there's this live action Rapunzel movie that is currently being made. I'm sorry if I butcher her name, but Avantika Vandanapu is supposed to play Rapunzel. And people on TikTok are mad as fuck. There's so many videos about this. But TikTok search engine just literally the worst thing ever. So I found like 3 fucking videos. So I thought I'd debunk them because they are incredibly fucking stupid. First one thing I'm not afraid to admit. They do not need to change every Disney princess's race. And the caption is, I'm all about diversity. But how about mix some new Disney princesses and not ruin childhood originals? So an incredibly rough start here. First of all, the fucking one thing I'm not afraid to admit is so fucking lame. Oh my god. It's that victim complex that all bigots or anti-woke people have when they want to pretend like they're against the majority. That they are a martyr who is willing to stand up against the bullshit that's been going on. That bullshit usually just being normalizing not saying racist jokes or something like that. When they are the ones that are literally reinforcing the status quo. It's so that they can present their arguments as something revolutionary, but in reality they are just saying what people have been saying for ages. Secondly, ruin childhood originals. Like, this girl, what the fuck? If you think that the Tangled remake is going to be ruined just by the fact that the main character is going to be played by an Indian, hate to break it to you, but you might be actually, fuck it, you are racist. You are a racist person. In what way are Indian actors ruining your childhood? This literally might be the reason for all this representation in cartoons and its remakes, so that people don't feel out of their comfort zones when they have to watch an Indian person or any kind of minority on screen. Maybe on-screen exposure of minorities could help people not be bigots after growing up. Maybe this person's idea of childhood is so absolutely whitewashed that she couldn't even imagine a childhood icon of hers being played by a different race. And not just this person's view of childhood, but the comment section too. Which brings me to my third point. What the fuck are these comments? Most of them are either recommending different actors, agreeing with the video, or actually being kind of reasonable, which is welcome. Well, some of them, not all of them. Actually, like 20%. 10% of them. Before going through all that, I just wanted to highlight this exchange that I found between two TikTok users, since it kind of made me realize how fucked these people are. Let me just read it to you. It makes me so sad. And then irrelevant shit. My sister and I grew up with the white actors and they don't need to change their race. What about the brown girls who didn't grow up with anyone looking like them and hated themselves because of it? Now it's their turn to grow up with brown princesses. Exaggerated much? They didn't hate themselves because there wasn't enough brown Disney princesses. Like, do you know that representation in media like actually matters? It actually does. It's crazy. Maybe if you see yourself represented on screen, you will feel better about yourself. You will feel more accepted in society. Crazy concept, I know. Anyways, people recommending different actresses. So firstly, if a movie is already in production, do you think that recommending a different actress will have any change? If it is literally being filmed, then do you think that they will just swap out the actress halfway through or something? Secondly, people are recommending actors like Sabrina Carpenter, Florence Pugh, Renee Rapp, Madeline Klein. I have never heard of her. I literally don't know what she looks like. I googled her. I did. All conventionally attractive white people. But guys, that's literally the point of the recast. Do not cast a model looking white woman who has been always the stars of these movies, who have always been the princesses. The point is to not do that, to not cast conventionally attractive white people. And then the people that are just agreeing with the video, since I already debunked why this is dumb, I would just like to point out how fucking stupid and laughable these are. Bro, I've been trying to say this, I'm sure you are. And also the victim complex I mentioned earlier. You are not like some kind of martyr that just has the unpopular opinion. The opinion y'all have is the popular opinion. They better not. This is my favorite movie. Watch out, Disney. Cadence is coming for you. It's fucking coming for you. This whole comment is just so funny to me because you can literally just watch the original if you want to. And again, the whole my childhood or my favorite movie is ruined just because the character's race was swapped. Like, get a fucking grip, bitch. There are a bunch more of these comments like this, but I think it's just best to move on to the next TikTok.
And then you told us to ask ourselves why we don't want her to be Rapunzel, because that's not cool or whatever. So I'll ask myself. One, the whole movie is set in Germany. So why would Rapunzel be Indian in Germany? Rapunzel's German. Then y'all are saying just switch the movie to be Indian. Like, no, you're messing up the story. This is not what this is about. This is not what this is about at all. The thing with Ariel is Ariel didn't have no culture, and Ariel didn't have no religion. Ariel didn't have no race. Ariel was a fish. Ariel hair wasn't even red because her hair being red wasn't even the point of the movie. Now with Rapunzel, Rapunzel hair is the point of the movie. It's like you switching Ariel from being a fish to being a bird. Like, no, the point of the Ariel movie is her being in the water and being a mermaid. The point of Rapunzel is her long hair. And her hair being blonde helps with her hair glowing because it's the lightest thing. So it glows. Her having black hair, like, we don't care about no twinkle twinkle little dull spuckle of black hair, brown hair.
This TikTok is 3 minutes long, but in a nutshell, it's literally just the same thing for 3 minutes. So I literally don't know how many fucking times I have to say this, but Tangled is a fucking fairy tale. It's a cartoon. It does not need to make sense. This movie is set in Germany, so it wouldn't make sense for her to be Indian. Rapunzel has magic hair she literally uses as a weapon in the movie. That's fucking unrealistic too. Do you think that using your fucking hair as a whip is realistic? Do you think that a horse that has realistic human expressions is realistic? She also says in the video that
the point of these Disney princesses is for representation. Rapunzel is German for the Germans. Jasmine is Arabian for the Arabians. Tiana is black for the black. You know what I'm trying to say? We all have our own nationality thing. Why are you trying to replace one to make your own? No. That's not that. Make a whole new princess and add her to the collection. Don't replace one.
And like, I get what she's going for, but a part of Aladdin is Arabian culture. A part of Princess and the Frog is the 1920s New Orleans black culture. German culture is not a part of Tangled. The most connection to German culture is the dresses that they wear, and that is it. It is literally not important to the story or the setting or what the fuck ever. Like, nothing. Also, German people are literally just white European people. They are not a minority that is so important to one's character that it just could not be changed at all. And it's like literally a story told by the Grimm brothers. Therefore, it is public domain, so you can do literally what the fuck you want with Rapunzel. Then complaining about the blonde hair, like, have you heard of wigs? Have you worn wigs? Will you wear wigs? Like, the fuck? Also really ironic how she says, leave it as a cartoon when... Wait, I have one more which I didn't put in the script because I forgot. I'm a bad YouTuber. I know, but it's in my Twitter bookmarks. I'm gonna check my bookmarks. Check my fucking bookmarks. Okay, actresses I think actresses I think would fit the role of Rapunzel. I'm not sure if all of them sing, so please don't come at me. Crying emoji. Sydney Sweeney, Taylor fucking Swift, Millie Bobby Brown. Guys, what's the point of representation? Guys, like, casting Taylor Swift, who is not an actor, casting Millie Bobby Brown, like, they don't even look like Tangled. They don't have, like, they are just blonde women. You can just like cast any blonde woman who is white at this point and y'all will be happier than with an Indian actress. Anyways, I find it kind of weird how they are already making a live action remake of Tangled since it came out in 2010 and the animation still holds up to this day. And the whole point of remaking the Renaissance Disney movies was that so a new generation can experience it. So when you search up the Tangled live action remake, a couple of trailers seem to show up. Even though none of them seem to be uploaded by Disney themselves, they look official, right? Something seems a bit
Mother, in this tower of dreams
off, though, because it's AI and reused footage from old Disney movies. Wait, what the fuck is going on? Whatever. Let's check out another trailer. This one has the Disney official in it, so it must be an official trailer, right?
only on my birthday.
No, it's AI again. So what the fuck is going on? Well, what if I told you that there are no signs of Disney talking about a Tangled remake anywhere on the internet? Quite the opposite, actually. Let me spoil the fun for you. There isn't a Tangled remake, and nothing is in production. There's quite literally nothing. It would not make the slightest amount of sense since the original is just a tad bit older than a decade, and it's still accessible for all ages. So what was this stuff about Avantika? Hate to break it to you, but Avantika is being harassed on not just her own comment section, but by the whole internet, basically, for a movie that is quite literally non-existent. Wanna be white is what you get called when a bunch of people on TikTok make some shit up. And of course, it spread like wildfire on the internet because people are dumb and racist. So that's how a minority got harassed on the internet for a thing she had zero involvement in. Thank you for watching my video. So I wanted to put patrons on the screen, but I do not have Patreon because I have 300 subscribers. However, I would just like to say a couple things before I end this video. So I'm just going to make a non-existent credits. Yeah. Thank you for watching my video. I think I may not get many views since this whole tangled topic is kind of in its grave because I took way too long recording this video. But my last 2 weeks of life have been incredibly stressful. Probably the worst 2 weeks. Well, not worst, but the most stressed I have ever been in my life as a person. Also, I did not look cute. I have been having a bad hair month, basically, for the whole fucking duration of April. So, yeah. So, yeah. Make sure to subscribe, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. And I released an album. I forgot. It's called Spooky Vision. You can stream it anywhere that you stream music. Yeah. I don't really like to involve my music career with my YouTube career, since I think it's two very different things, and also I don't think I'm gonna make another piece of music anytime soon, since every time I open FL Studio I just get a creative block. Yeah, thank you again for watching my fucking video and supporting me, and everyone who is supporting me, thank you so much. Y'all didn't even know how much it means to me, and thank you so much. Love you guys.